South Range.
Oh.
790.
That's a thing that happened this morning in the Grove was very unfortunate.
Hiring a gunfighter is always
Andy
unfortunate.
Random is not a gunfighter, and we did not hire him.
I'd know a professional. He stalked my boys like a prairie wolf. Frank saw how you greeted him. I suppose he's a house guest?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he is.
You've had time to think of a better story than that.
No, wait a minute. We have a difference of opinion, Craddock. And that shooting this morning has nothing whatever to do with it, unless you'd like it to go on and build up into a great range war.
That's already happened. Up to now, we've been shooting high. From now on, we aim dead center.
Oh, now, that's very foolish, Craddock. Very foolish indeed.
What exactly do you want?
I want to talk. I want to talk about orange groves.
The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. You want to come around here whining about his decisions, you're wasting your time. Nick Barkley, your family comes of honest stock. They're good people. I'm telling you that so you'll know I hate you all on a personal rather than on a moral basis. While you and yours were busily inheriting this valley, me and mine were busy coaxing potatoes out of a Maine marble field. You ever get down on your hands and knees and beg a potato to get fat? Did you ever get so mad you took a tree branch and beat an apple because it shriveled on a twig? No. You don't even know the taste of a pig's foot or a hen's neck. You've been raised on the fat of the hog and the breast of the chicken.
Hold it, Craddock, hold it. You're not the only man that managed to scrape out a ranch with his fingernails or eye teeth. We had just as many rocks on our land as you did, just as many tree stumps as you did. But there's another reason, the real reason. Like Frank here, came to call on Audra and got turned down.
Anybody that's too good for my sons is too good for my bounty.
Audra has a mind of her own.
She's the only Barkley who'll ever set a welcome foot on my property. Let me tell you this. If I owe you $1, I'll follow you to Timbuktu to pay you. But I'll chase you twice as far if you overcharge me. My land is my land. And I wouldn't give you a rock off of it to kill a rattlesnake. Does that make my position clear?
All right, let's simmer down. Let's simmer down a minute. I'll tell you what. We'll harvest the oranges, put the money into escrow. The one that wins the case gets the money.
I turned that offer down before. Now, after what your man did to my boys...
I keep trying to tell you he was not our man.
He just shoots my sons and lives in your house.
He wasn't when he did.
But he did and he is.
We're not getting too far, are we?
At least you aren't.
You want this whole thing to build into a range war, don't you?
I'm going to pick those oranges and chop down those trees and plant alfalfa. And if I find any Barkleys on that property, I'll plant them too.
But I'll admit one thing, of course, you're a darn sight better than a horse. Long on ears, short on legs, I don't know what I can take. You're a Missouri canary, but you can't sit in a tree.
Mr. Randall.
Oh, my... What? Well, oh, Miss Audrey. Oh, my gosh. Oh, well... Now, look here. You must never catfoot up on a fellow that way.
I startled you. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I brought you a present.
Huh? Present? For me? Mm-hmm. Present? Well, I don't believe I ever got a present offered me before.
Well, go on, open it.
No. I want to savor it for a minute there. Yeah, all righty. Here we go. Well, I spawn. What do you know about that? Yes, sir. Well, yes, that's just what I've been needing, a long piece of cloth.
Oh, it's a muffler, Mr. Random. You put it around the top of your head during the wintertime. Keeps away the snorts and the sniffles.
Yeah, well, heavens, I knew that. Sure, there you go. Look at that. Hey, and it holds your hat on, too. Keeps it from blowing off.
That's exactly what it does.
Sure.
Remember that chill you had when you were here before?
Oh, I'll never forget it. Took me nigh to a month to get over it. You put me back together. You spoon-fed me the whole time.
I've never forgotten that. And remember when you left, you gave me a necklace made out of arrowheads? I still have it.
Oh, well. Well, you know. Stay right there. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Open. See that gun there? That is the gun that killed the man that killed your daddy. There, she's yours. Oh, that's bar grease. That's bar grease. That makes her slip out of the holster just as slick as ice. Now I want you to see something here. Look at here. See that thong right there? Well, that holds the trigger back so the hammer don't catch you. And if you're a fanner, which I was, you file off the rat tail etching on the hammer there. Don't scratch your hand that way.
The sights are gone.
Oh, sure, sights are gone. You file off the sights. If you can't hit a man without aiming at him, you use a shotgun or a rifle.
Oh, that sounds very professional.
Well, I learned that self-defense, you see. I want your family to have this. Kind of a sentimental piece. I can't use it anywhere with this bad wrist anymore.
Well, thank you, Mr. Random, but I really can't accept it.
Well, oh. Oh, well, yes, I see. Yes, I see what you mean. You don't want to have her around to look at.
But your kind offer is appreciated.
You know, it's a sad state of affairs when a man my age ain't got nothing to offer except broke gun, broke wrist, bent frying pan, and a mud-colored jacket. Same as Audrey. That one brother of yours, that Heath.
Heath is ill-mannered.
Well, he sure got it hard against me. I don't remember it. Of course, I do forget things.
Dinner's at 7, Mr. Random.
Dinner. Well, the only thing that'll keep me from dinner is a lot of money, a good horse, or a beautiful woman like you, Miss Audra. Oh, hush up. Can't I talk to nobody but you? I gotta have some social life, Jughead.
Heath Barkley, what's come over you?
What do you mean?
I think you owe us an explanation
For what?
for your behavior toward Handy Random. Where'd you learn your manners?
Well, the same place I learned a lot of other things.
Well, I think you owe him an apology. What have you got against that poor old farmer?
He's no farmer. That's not dirt on his hands, that's powder burns. He wouldn't know a yam from a carrot if it wasn't cooked and put on a plate in front of him.
Handy Random is a friend of this family's, and as long as you're part of it, he's a friend of yours.
I think I have the right to pick my own friends.
Well, I was right about the sheriff.
How'd you make out?
Still straddling the fence. So I went over to Craddock's myself.
And you're just lucky you didn't get your head blown off.
Did you get anywhere with him?
Nope.
Maybe if I went over to Craddock's.
You stay off Craddock's land, Audra. Unfortunately, Handy Random's got us in quite a bit of trouble. Joe and Frank were pretty badly peppered.
Peppered.
Well, not that I'm saying it's Handy's fault.
Well, I am plumb sorry that I caused you folks this trouble.
No, you didn't cause the trouble, Handy. You just caught up with it, that's all.
Well, still in all, I feel responsible, but I got an ID. Now, how many of them Craddocks is there?
15, maybe 20.
You give me $500, and I will guarantee that starting tomorrow, you can pick all the oranges you want to, and nobody will bother you.
And just how would you manage that?
Powers of persuasion.
I hope you're not serious.
Well, now, look here, you pick them oranges right now, or you can forget them. You're gonna pluck oranges, you're gonna pluck Craddocks.
No. Wait a minute, Handy, now. That's exactly what we don't want.
They say you're trespassing, you say they's trespassing. Now, why ain't we got just as much right to shoot them as they got to shoot us? And I'll tell you another thing. You say you're going to go get Harbor's hands. Well, if and you do get them, which I dearly doubt, you going to just send them out there to be shot by Craddock? All right, now, if you change your mind, I'll be around. But mark my words, before this is out, you're going to need my services. See you at supper.
Well, I figured he'd get around to that proposition sooner or later.
All right, Heath, let's have it. What do you know about him that we don't?
Well, what would you think of a man who makes his living following feuds? Starts them if they don't exist. Then sells his gun to the highest bidder.
Where'd you run into him before?
A couple of years ago, he was in the Lincoln County Wars. It didn't make much difference which side you were on. Both paid the same. $25 for signing up and $25 for every saddle turned into the paymaster. The saddle was proof of death. But the paymaster never knew who the saddles belonged to. So you could face your enemy and kill him, or you could hang back and see all those beautiful, unguarded backs of your friends.
I take it you were in the fight also.
Well, I was just a kid fighting for what I thought was right. I took my $25, and 2 days later, I got a back full of carpet tacks and horseshoe nail heads. Handy comes running up to polish me off with a knife. I was able to take a gun butt to him, but it didn't help.
What do you mean?
Well, I made it up a ravine, and while I was trying to decide whether to live or die, he came to, stole my saddle, and turned it in for the money.
Why didn't he recognize you?
Well, he's old, and he's looked down that barrel at a lot of people besides me.
How come you didn't mention this before?
Well, how could I? You all were so fired up about him. That old man's a walking plague, and the sooner we get rid of him, the better.